Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Musiq Soulchild, and you know I got soul.
The new album Victims and Villains is out, collaboration with Hit Boy.
Yeah.
We weren't expecting this. It kind of came out of nowhere, kind of surprised us a bit. This collaboration. Loving the album so far. I guess what inspired you to create this album?
Um, I think it was just a surprise to me as it was to you guys. Um, there wasn't this long, drawn out process of recording.
Yeah.
I got approached to make an album last September, and here we are. It's out. It's in the wild. Yeah. So there wasn't a lot of time to have an idea or a thought, a complete thought about putting this album together. Um, the driving force was solely based on working with Hit Boy.
Right.
Really excited about that. You specifically know how hard I've been preaching hip hop soul, hip hop soul, hip hop soul, hip hop soul, hip hop
Yeah.
soul. And here it is, an opportunity that I was presented with to adequately lean into that. Here you have a well-known, most known for hip hop producer. And I felt like that was a good way to start extracting the vibe of what I've been trying to say this whole time.
Right. Were you planning on an album, or did it just kind of happen organically? Because you've been doing a lot of collaborations, some great features on songs and partnering up with groups and stuff. So was it even in mind to do an album?
Nah, not at all, to be honest. Um, it's weird because, I liken it to my first album's process. I wasn't really planning on making an album. I was just recording songs,
Yeah.
you know, and some things get out and some things don't.
Yeah.
And so that's why it was almost jarring when it was presented to me like, yo, my manager was like, yo, some people think it might be a good idea to, put an album out. Are you? And I was like, no, not really.
Yeah.
Still processing a lot of complex stuff right now, or at least at that time, and still now, but more so at that time. That I wasn't in the mindset of presenting myself in front of you guys with a new product and a new project. And it's like, I really wanted to just be in the background and just figure out a whole lot of stuff that I feel like really requires my attention. A lot of
Right.
personal, you know. So even after that, I got even busier when the tour was on its way. I was like, I'm trying to I'm trying to stay out the way and heal. And it's like, yeah, you can heal, but I'm gonna need you to walk and talk at the same time. I'm do gum at the same time. So we're going to heal, but we also gonna put you on a tour, and we also gonna put out an album. So
Right.
let's go. And it's like, oh, why not, man? Why not? So that's the gist of pretty much how the process went.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because it almost fit like hand in glove. His production, his backdrops for your vocals and your style. Like it almost felt like made to be. And like I
Right.
mentioned to you before we started this interview, this is hands down going to be one of the best projects all year. It's only
Wow.
March, but I already know it because it's so high quality. Like,
Wow.
did you know? Like, what was this process like in the studio with Hit Boy? Did it feel like it was made to be for you?
Yeah. It felt like this is how it should have been going this whole time.
Yeah.
And I think that because there wasn't really anything like it before, there was no way that anyone could have curated it that way, but this is why. And I know it sounded like a foreign broken record to people, but this is possibly the best offering of, hip hop soul that I've ever been able to present to you guys. And it's almost like I've been having an identity crisis this whole time. It's not that I don't recognize, the blessing and the privilege that it was to do what I have done. and how much you guys really liked it, and you supported it, and you made it what it became. I appreciate it. I'm grateful for what, forever be grateful for it. However, it's a very different thing when you're doing something that feels more natural to you.
Yeah.
You're just doing something because you know it works, you know it's going to make money, you know people are going to like it and say nice things
Yeah.
about it. It's just different. It's just different.
But I need to stop you for a second because I took the time to go back to Feel the Real. Project
Ooh,
came out in 2017. Man, I don't think I appreciated that project when it came out. Double
most
album.
people didn't appreciate that project, but it's
But
okay.
I lived with that for like a few weeks, like
And
recently.
point,
Man,
glad
man,
you
what a
I'm glad you worded it that way, because the ended point was for you guys to live with it. Don't just listen to it once and go,
yeah,
man. No, live with it. You know how much crap
yeah,
I did project? Just give it a minute.
right.
I, but I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I just wanted to say, like, I don't think anyone really appreciated it. It's hard because we're in a time when it's like people just, something came out, let's listen to it, and then let's
No,
move on to the next thing.
I get
That's
it.
just how we're at. But like,
It's,
I actually took the time and like dug into it, listened to it like back to back, like a whole bunch of times. You had so many textures, different feelings. Like that's a great project, man. Feel the Real.
it means a lot coming from you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wish other people would feel the same way. I put a lot of work into that, and that's me still bumbling around trying to figure out how to
yeah,
articulate things more accurately, with what I had at the time, you know.
yeah,
And it was there again. It was like there wasn't no, okay, let me sit down, map it out, how I'm gonna. It's like no, whatever I'm doing now is gonna have to feel a certain way, and
right.
that's is gonna have to be different than how it was before. What that is, I don't know,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna work from knowing what I don't want it to be, and we'll go from there. You know.
right. Makes sense. Let's go back to victims and villains. Can we talk about some of the songs on here?
So
So we got a song of the year contender. I know it's only March, but I've been doing this so long. When I hear a song, like I know that's the one.
wow.
Do you know what I'm
Okay.
going to say? Like I'm curious. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Mm-mm. No, I'm genuinely uh, what's the word I'm looking for? I genuinely don't know.
Okay, Your Love Is Life. Now that, oh my goodness, one of the man,
Interesting.
woo.
Thing.
And I'll tell you, my whole team agrees. Like when we heard that song, it's like we all stopped and was like, that's the one,
Well,
because, and I'll tell you why. Well, let me just tell you real quick. It's like a
uh-huh.
genuine love song, like romantic. Like we don't get music like that anymore. It has
Mm,
such a great backdrop to it.
hmm.
Just feels good, genuine. Like, oh, man, I just love it.
No, yeah, and it's a classic, quintessential hip hop soul song.
Yeah,
It's boom bap beat with the vibe, whatever the vibe is, and me just speaking my emotions on top of it. Like
yeah,
it's like you can't get it's that's pretty hip hop soul.
yeah,
And I was so grateful that I was able to convey that,
yeah,
the essence of it in that way. Because I'm thinking in my mind, like, I hope people get like this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to do.
yeah.
And I hope that they understand that what makes it is both elements. This is why I never identified as R&B. R&B is
Right.
something
I,
else. I can do it. I've
yeah,
done, and it's nice, but
yeah,
it's not me. And
right.
I know it's crazy to people. I know.
I,
It sounds. I get it. But being good at something, it's not the same as doing you and being who you are. It's a
right.
different thing. So I've done my best to, push through and not complain, and take the W's and
Yeah,
appreciate points on the board. But after a while, there's this frustration that builds up because you're not being yourself.
Yeah, we've talked about it, but
And
like I
people
always tell you,
back and try to convince you, like, no, you are you. Don't you know who you are? I know who you are. Like they have the authority of who I am. And it's like, no, you know what you know, and that's
right?
great. And I appreciate that. But you don't realize you don't know enough to know that I know
Yeah,
more. I know that you don't know the rest. You don't know, all of this other stuff that I'm trying, to give. So I feel like this project is starting to sort of unearth that, and
right,
I'm really looking forward to seeing how much more of it I can start, putting out there because I really feel like it's really, really cool. But I won't get to it if you keep looking for what you want.
right.
That's
Let me
all.
let me pull it back to the victims and villains. I want to ask you about a
Yeah, yeah.
couple more songs real quick. Can I tell you about a song I hated the first time I heard it? And I was like, then eventually I was like, this is my jam,
Oh,
actually.
3. Yeah.
I'm really trying to F with you.
Yeah. Number
First
3.
time I heard it, I'm like,
I
what,
know.
what
I,
is this? But then I actually lived with that. I took time, and I'm like, this is actually good. I
yeah.
mean, so it was like one of those things where it's like so unexpected. Then you give it a shot, and it's like, you know what, this is good.
Now imagine if you never gave it a shot, you would still be
Yeah,
thinking that you thought about it before you.
I
And that's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
People are so quick to judge. It's
I
like,
know.
give it a minute, man. Like, have I not amassed enough credibility to earn your time and attention and
Yeah,
just faith?
right.
Can I have some faith that I know what I'm doing? You
I
know,
get it.
this is a foreign concept because what I'm doing is not, normal. I
Yeah,
understand. Just give it a minute. Jesus,
and it's really good.
just give
I,
it a minute. You might actually like it.
I got a couple more songs I got to ask about.
Okay.
I got to because I've been living with this album since it came out for 2 weeks.
Nice.
My second favorite song, Between Love and War, man. And
Ooh.
I love how you saved all these gems for the end of the album too.
Well, that wasn't the plan. I just listened to all the songs because those are the only songs that I had. So I had to, sequentially, because I like for my projects to, well, at least I put them together according to how I think they should flow.
Mhm.
And the loose concept of how I put songs together, on an album is I think of it like a day, you
Yeah,
know. So it starts off with the sunrise, and then it starts
yeah,
picking speed, and then by the time you get to the third record, like your day has started.
yes,
The is what it is, you know, and then we're gonna calm down a little bit, and then we're gonna
yeah,
pick it back up. So I like to think of it now. Clearly, especially nowadays, people don't always honor that. They listen to whatever they want to listen to whenever they want to. Sometimes only 2 minutes of it, then they move on to the next. If you get that much. But when I put a project together, I do it with the full intent of it being experienced in its, entirety. So that
right,
if you are so inclined to do that, you'll get the full vibe.
right. And
But
I'm just joking with you about the sequencing. I actually
no, no,
can't
no, no.
complain at
It
all.
came up before. This came up before, so
Yeah,
with somewhere else. But I just wanted to address that.
but now the title track, I don't think we've heard you on a track like that before. It didn't. I'll be
Yeah,
honest, it didn't even sound like what I was expecting from you at all. But it
yeah.
worked. It was like to me that was like a progression. That was another positive progression. Awesome sounding track. My guy Ed, who reviewed your album, said that was like one of the best Musiq Soulchild songs he's heard. Like, so let me talk about that one for a minute.
But see, all of these things that you're saying, is convenient to say now, but it's weird because when I'm doing it, my mindset isn't that it's going to be received like this.
Yeah, yeah,
That is, people might actually not like this because
mm,
it's
yeah,
such a departure from what. But I still had to you know stand on it and be like, well, this is what you're gonna get. Because what I
yeah,
realized was I was conceding and compromising too much with you guys that don't have enough information on what it is that I'm trying to give you. So I can't go by that because you don't know enough. I don't mean it as a disrespect.
right,
It's a fact. You don't know enough. And I can't go by that. I got to go by what I know. I know that it's good. but you will never be able to weigh in on it if I never put it out, and I will never put it out
Right.
if I keep thinking that you won't like it.
I got you.
And do it in a way where it's like, do you like it? It's like, no, this is what it is. You either like it or you don't.
Yeah.
But this is good. Because I had to accept, and I had to even announce it to myself. Like I had to like confirm it and affirm it to myself, bro. You are an authority of what this is. Stop letting everybody else be the authority on what it is.
Yes.
They're not you. They have their opinions, they have their perspectives, and it matters, especially if they're supporting you. But I gave it way too much influence. It's like you're listening to your kids on how to be a better parent. It's like, wait, I'll hear them out and I'll use that as a reference, but they don't know enough. They just got here.
Yeah.
Not that their perspective doesn't matter, but they don't know enough,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
gotta watch my mouth because some people they misquote me, and I'm not trying to say that you guys are like my kids, and I'm not saying that. I'm saying perspective of knowing and not knowing. I've been
Yeah.
doing this mention for 20 some odd years. I think that afforded me some credit to know what I'm doing. But I can't control what you guys are willing to receive and how you guys perceive what I do. I can't force you to listen to it. I can't force you to give it time. You even said it a couple times yourself, like I had to give it a minute. I can't force you to give it a minute. You may not
Yeah.
even have or even care to give it a minute. But unless that connection happens within you, you're not getting the full intent. And I really can't come behind and support that because it didn't even resonate with you. So it's as if I didn't do anything at all.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying? So
It's
I
tough, man.
yeah,
It's
I
tough
know
to hear.
these streets still trying. That's why I say in the first song, so here's to one more try, do it over and fucking get it right. I don't know. I don't know what the game plan is all the time. I know what I like. I know what I want to do. I know what I can see, what I can conceive, and this is in reference to what has worked in the past before me because it's just good. But I don't know what you guys know. I don't know what you
Right.
guys pay attention to. I don't know what your musical intelligence is. I don't know what your musical interests are. I don't know how much of even just what I've done throughout my timeline that you've actually caught. I know you know the singles, but there's way more information that no one ever really brings up to me that are really important factors as to why I do what I do. But
Right.
if you're not factoring that in, it's like we're not even communicating. I might as well be speaking the foreign language to you. So, I was grateful that first of all that Hit Boy had that kind of range, to
Yeah.
even move in these different spaces. But more so, I'm grateful that I'm able to start putting these vibes out there because I need for you to understand there's so much more to get to than this one lane you guys like me to be in. It's cute, but there's way more to do. So if you
Right.
guys allow me, I'd like to get to those other things. I've been saying this for 20 some odd years. I'm not asking anymore. I'm just doing it. And it's either you dig it or you don't,
Right.
you
Well, let
know?
me let me end with this because I know you got a show to prepare for, and we don't want to take up too much of your time. But let me just add this. I've been doing. I got sold for 13 years now, man. It's been a while.
Mhm.
We've done tons of interviews over the years.
Yep.
I just don't want you to feel discouraged. Like there's people like I listen to so much music. You can't even imagine how much music I consume.
I can
And I tell
imagine.
you,
I
I mean,
promise you, imagine.
and a lot, and I said this off the air, but a lot of it isn't. It just isn't that good. It feels uninspired. When I hear your music, it feels inspired. You have a plan. You are being creative. Like it's something I want to hear. It's different. It feels good. Like so, man. If I could just leave you with one thing, I just don't want you to get discouraged. I mean, I hope there's more people out there like me who can appreciate it,
Right.
who love
Well,
it, who live with it. But
I
man,
do, but hearing you, hey, first of all, let me just address that. Hearing you say that definitely, makes me feel good. I appreciate the vote of confidence. But just imagine you feeling the way that you feel, and a person still says, I don't know, it don't sound like the old music. I'm gonna sit out. I'm gonna sit this one out.
yeah,
What
yeah,
do I do?
yeah. And that's why a lot of your peers have given up releasing new music. I could name like
There we go.
I was just talking about Dwele. He hasn't released an album in over 10 years. I mean, we may
Dude,
never get a new Dwele
the
album.
freaking genius.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. That
Yeah.
hurt, man. That's what I got to look forward to.
Well, I wouldn't say nobody cares, but it's like I know it. I know the challenge you face. I get it.
So clearly, I don't mean it literally,
Yeah.
but since you know, in the landscape of entertainment, like who's checking for him in droves? That's sad, man. And there's so many people like that. I can write a book on
Yeah.
how many people really could use your attention because they live and breathe this shit and they want to give you the best
Yeah.
curated version of these vibes. But we can't because there's no lanes for us. You know, I got off. I got lucky. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm grateful for that. But that's why I'm so passionate about the things that I'm saying because I don't think people really understand how much good music is out there that's not getting the support that they could really use, that they deserve, personally, in my personal opinion, that they deserve, man. They need to be on these people's stages. Y'all need to be pulling up and seeing them. Y'all need
Yeah.
to support them because we can't do it by ourselves. This is a participatory event. Like we need y'all as
Yeah.
much as we
Yeah.
like to be independent and go off on our own and do our whole, artistic, hermit nomadic thing. Like we still got to present to you people.
Yeah.
And if the majority is not connected with us, it's only but so much we could do. So
Yeah.
it happened, you know. I'm grateful that in this day and time, I'm still able to still put stuff out that people care about and actually like, but it doesn't happen this way for everybody. For most of us, it don't happen this way, you know? And again, this is not a complaint. This is just an observation and this is context I'm trying to present for people who really love music. If you really love
Right.
music, maybe shift your perspective on things. Maybe change your expectations. Maybe if you can, if you choose to, if you want to, if you feel like it, educate yourself a little bit more on, what it is that you're, engaging with. Just do a little bit of research. YouTube is free, essentially,
Yeah.
So stuff on YouTube that you can find. Like, oh wow, I didn't know that happened. And, oh, info. Oh, that's what that really like. It's available. We're
Yeah.
still here, but we kind of need y'all to come get us because we could pull up and y'all be like, and it's like, bro, like, do you even know who I am? No. Okay. All right. I'll just go
I'll,
ahead and
I'll
I'll
tell
just
you what. I'll keep doing my part with my platform and our platform to do what we can to spread word, make sure people get it. That's all.
been like a definitely been a great help, an awesome assistance in curating, information because y'all been consistent with it. That's why I still choose to do these interviews because
Yeah.
trust me, I like doing interviews.
I,
I don't
know.
say that, but I don't because it gets
I
to a
know.
like, what are we doing, bro? Like you just
Yeah.
talking, like we're not communicating, nothing is getting conveyed, you know. But I like talking to you because not only do we have that history and rapport, but we have a timeline, and you just by yourself, you and your network has a timeline of always keeping up with this. We
Yeah.
need more. I got souls. Because who's really who's really archiving this, man, in real time, talking
I
to us
love. Yeah.
in real time.
I love being able to archive it, man. Trust me. That's the fun part for me. So I
I
got you
appreciate
all the way back to 2009, what you've been working on. So
it. Yeah, I appreciate it, but it's it's real out here in these
yeah,
music and
I know.
makes me sad, bro. And that's again, I'm extremely empathetic, things like that. So when it's going in a weird way, it bothers me. I don't talk about it a lot, but it bothers me.
All right.
And I feel like now it's important to start saying something because I don't think people understand exactly what's happening, whether they
Yeah.
care or not, or it matters to them or not, that's irrelevant. It's happening and it is relevant to us. And we do care. And some of us don't know how to get on these platforms and say these things,
Yeah.
but it's our reality. So anyway, let me get off my soapbox. wanted to. I'm speaking for a lot of people, basically. So
Right.
there's
Yeah,
something.
you're right. No one else really does say these things, I'll be honest. But I appreciate you always keeping it real, man. That's why I always enjoy speaking with you,
Yeah,
hearing your
yeah.
truth, being yourself, man. I respect it.
I appreciate you letting me talk my shit.